10 through 6 right here. At number 10, I really wish Zero was here right now because I got the Dallas Cowboys at number 10. Number 9, the New York Jets, Jets. Number 8, the Detroit Lions. Number 7, the Baltimore Ravens. And number 6, my Los Angeles Chargers.
You think the Lions are going to be that high, Tony?
This is the way I looked at it. If I'm going, we're obviously all just on paper, what's going on. I think the Cowboys, probably I could make an argument for them to be a little bit higher. The one thing I'm worried about is the transition in offense, but that defense is going to be absolutely tremendous. The Jets, you bring in Aaron Rodgers to a team that I thought was going to make the playoffs last year, like until Breece Hall gets injured, and now they got him. The Lions are loaded. I know Lions fans think that I hate them because of my draft comments. Like, I think the Lions roster is actually like filled with talent, and I'm a believer in Jared Goff. Like, I think he can get your team to a win or more in the playoffs. The Ravens at 7, you get back Lamar Jackson in there. Like I said, you can look at their roster and go, hey, a couple holes maybe on the offensive line, a couple holes maybe in the defense areas there. John Harbaugh's a good coach. The Chargers, my big thing is Brandon Staley in the defense. Like, I want to put the Chargers at number 1. I'm not going to lie. Like, I really look at this and I go, Chargers are the best team in the NFL. They're the best team on paper in the NFL. I have no doubts in my mind. But when I step back and I go, wait, what would I, if I were going to punch a hole in the argument, I'd go, defense went from 29 to 23rd. The coach isn't on the same level, I think, as some of the other coaches that I have in my top 5.
That's a good take there, Tony.
I heard 14.
Well, I can't wait for you to put it on the internet and for you guys to send me the comments of people hating me.
Well, mine's going to be worse.
I heard your 10 through 6, Tony. I did not hear the Raiders at all. So I'm thinking the Raiders are in your top 5.
The Raiders are really close. They're like 29. They're good.
Close to the top 5.
Number 5 for me, the Buffalo Bills. It's Josh Allen. If they run him a little bit less, keep him healthier for the end of the year, I think him and Stephon Diggs can figure this thing out. I'm going to get crushed for what I'm about to say. Number 4, the Seattle Seahawks. This team is so stacked. Like, the fact that they went and they drafted a running back in the second round 2 years in a row, I think is a really great move. And I think that more teams, if this is successful, are going to start looking like, hey, back-to-back years, we should be taking one of the top 3 running backs in the second round. Like, if we did it last year, like, having multiple guys to keep that position fresher, I think is where it could go. Charbonnet, Walker, and then they also brought in McIntosh as sort of change of pace at the end. But just look at the rest. Like, they got the 2 tackles who played well for the most part last year in that draft. They got interior line help this year. And then you get Jackson Smith and Jigba, a guy that can get open over the middle of the field with Lockett and DK out there. The defense is absolutely loaded with talent. I think the Seahawks roster is maybe one of the most talented rosters in the league. I mean, obviously, I'm a top 5. Bengals at number 3. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was shocked T. Higgins was not traded. Like, that was one thing I've been saying was like, this was the offseason where they moved T. Higgins and got at least a first-round pick for him. He's still on the roster. And they went and got Charlie Jones from Purdue, who I really like. And they got Orlando Brown. They got a left tackle. They need to stop getting Joe Burrow sacked so much. Chiefs at 2, Patrick Mahomes. I don't care. I look at this roster. I want to put the Chiefs at 32. I want to put them behind the New Orleans Breakers. I'm not going to lie. Like, I want the Chiefs to be at the bottom of the list. I can't. And the Eagles, top to bottom, best roster in the NFL. The offensive line, the defensive line, the secondary, like, even now, I think with the running backs, like, you could say, yeah, Penny, Swift, always injured. Well, Gainwell will come in. Boston Scott will get you, in a pinch. Just the Eagles roster, that's my number 1. You play that Super Bowl over again on a different field, and maybe the Eagles are Super Bowl champs. So I got the Eagles at 1. My top 5 recap is Bills at 5, Seahawks at 4, Bengals at 3, Chiefs at 2, Eagles at 1.
Yeah, and freaking Bo Scarborough could freaking run behind that offensive line. I mean, anyone can get in there if the Eagles need them to, that can just run straight and get some production out of the line. Jalen Hurts could go to running back, and A.J. Brown could come into the backfield and play quarterback. But I like the Seattle Seahawks take as well on the running backs. A lot of people don't realize that K9's 5'9". A lot of people don't realize that. He's a strong dude, and he runs with power. But, you know, you add a guy that can thump in those situations where you know especially he's going to have to thump. I just think that you need that complement sometimes in these offenses to keep your workhorse running back healthy. These guys are going to be wide open. You got a bunch of guys that are just route technicians. And I know DK Metcalf, his routes can be kind of clunky sometimes, but then he just wins with size and speed. So you have to come up and be technical with JSN, be technical with Tyler Lockett. D. Eskridge is a good receiver. I'd love to add him to the wide receiver core in Los Angeles. And then you got DK outside just bodying people.
I kept looking at it. I'm like, I put it in there and I go Seahawks at 4, and I go, this is so nuts, because what you guys aren't talking about is that I left the 49ers off my list, and 49ers fans, even the 49ers fans that are in my family, I've talked to them several times. If you told me right now that Brock Purdy was healthy, I would have bumped back the Seahawks, and I would have had the 49ers probably at 4, right behind the Bengals, right? But the fact that they're talking about potentially trading Trey Lance, and we don't know Purdy's timetable with the elbow, and that Sam Darnold could be the quarterback. Like, I still think that they could be, like, I still think they will be in the playoffs regardless of who plays quarterback for them this year, even if it's Sam Darnold. Like, I have the 49ers at 11. Now that my list is revealed, I'll say it. I had the Niners at 11. I have the Dolphins at 12. I just barely missed those two teams from making it. I think they're both teams that make the playoffs. I look at it, I'm like, the quarterback's the most important position on the field, and we don't have any idea who's going to be that guy on week 1. I left him off.
It's such a shame, man, and it just pisses me off so much. And I don't know, it's either Shanahan's overconfidence in his own scheme or John Lynch's overconfidence in his defense. Slam dunks for Super Bowls. They just went and got a guy like Derek Carr's level, or like we said, Ryan Tannehill's level. Just someone that's going to be consistent. You know, Ryan Tannehill might be a bad example because he's been injured recently. Consistent and careful and healthy. That's really all they need in that offense. For the defense, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Trent Williams to just carry this thing home. If Kirk Cousins became a Niner, they would shoot from 9 on my list to top 3.
I want to give Tony a little bit of props. I like the Seattle in the top 5, Tony, and I'm just a little bit worried about Geno Smith. You're not worried about Geno Smith at number 4 of taking that team?
No, I'm not, because we saw last year what he was willing to do, which was just make the right reads, make the right plays. And when you can lead the league in completion percentage, you know, like, let's play good defense and let's run the football. And they committed to those things. They've committed by getting talented running backs in here. So it's not that, like, I'm saying Geno Smith is a Super Bowl franchise QB or whatever. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying he's good enough to take this team really, really far. Not everybody's going to have Burrow and Mahomes and Lawrence as much as you want it, and every fan wants their quarterback to be that guy. Good quarterbacks can still win games in this league.
And if you guys are watching us on the chat and you guys want to tell us your top 5, go ahead and throw it in the chat so we can look at that too.
Everyone, please like the video real quick.
We're just 3 friends who love talking about football, but we're always looking for a 4th. So please consider hitting the subscribe button and becoming a number 4.